Welcome back to the series of videos on Ind AS, that is Ind AS with Accountsman. In today's lecture, we'll be discussing Ind AS 24, which deals with related parties disclosure. Ind AS 24. This, as the name suggests, is a disclosure based standard, so there is not much of computation in the standard. You get that? And prima facie, the first thing that I want to tell you with regard to this standard is this standard doesn't restrict us to do transactions with the related party. This transaction just asks us to disclose whenever there is a transaction with related party. You get that? There is no such restriction. It is just about disclosing whenever there is a transaction. Yeah. So as usual, the way we go with any other standard, we'll ask ourselves the questions what, why, when, how, and everything. And as we figure out answers to each of those questions, we have the entire standard discussed. So let us start with the first question. What? What do we mean by related party disclosure? So there are two words here. The first one is related party, and the next word is disclosure. Yeah, the first thing that I'm going to discuss is what exactly do we mean by related party. Related party means an entity or it can be a person. It can either be a person or it can be an entity, that is other form of person, like legal representatives or legal persons, maybe like a company or a partnership or joint venture or anything of that sort. Persons represents humans. Yeah, so a related party can either be an entity or a person who is related to reporting enterprise. Yeah, related party is an entity or a person who is related to the reporting enterprise. That's the thing with respect to related party. Now, what exactly should we be disclosing? What exactly should we be disclosing? So, whenever we have relationships, yeah, whenever we are related to certain people, it's called relationship. Yeah, with these people, we enter into transactions. We transact with them. These transactions can be in three forms of time. Number one, it can be in the past. Number two, it can be in the present, or it can be in the future. Whenever there are transactions which have happened in the past with the related parties, it might leave us with outstanding balances. Like I have either purchased goods or I have sold goods and it's not settled in cash. So it is resulting in a receivable or a payable. That is outstanding balance. Outstanding balance is arising because of a past transaction with the related party. Now, in the present, what is it? In the present, we are going to enter into transaction. Like there is supposed to be a transaction happening in the current period. Done. Next, in the future. In the future, if I am going to have a transaction with my related party, what do we call it? We call it commitment. What do we call it? We call it commitment. So I am committed to enter into a transaction with my related party, and this is the entire thing that needs to be disclosed. What is it that is to be disclosed? First one, excuse me for that. The first thing that should be disclosed is relationship. Yeah, the first thing that should be disclosed is relationship, and the next one is outstanding balances, then transactions, then commitments that are made to the related parties. So the disclosures are to be made with regard to these items. Item number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we have 4 items. So what are the 4 items? Number 1, relationship. We need to disclose how are we and that person related. Is he my cousin? Or is he my holding company? Is he my subsidiary? Is she my wife? Or what is it? What exactly is the relationship we carry? The next thing is outstanding balances. What is the money that they owe me or I owe them? The next one, transactions. What transactions do we have between us? Have I sold them goods or have they sold me goods? Have I borrowed money from them? Have they borrowed money from me? Yeah, all those transactions. And the last particular thing that needs to be disclosed is commitments. Yeah, if I've entered into a commitment saying that I'll sell 90% of my output to you, or I'll buy such huge quantity of the goods from you, so that is the commitment that is to be made for the future. So this is the basic understanding. So that is related party disclosure. Next thing is we need to discuss this word related party in detail. You get that? So come on, let us now start discussing the word related party in detail. So as I've told previously, the question that we're going to discuss now is who is related party. Yeah, a related party can either be a person or it can be entity. So what I'm going to discuss now at the first place is I'm going to discuss who is that person who can be your related party. So we are trying to discuss with regard to person now. A person who is our related party. So when I write my reporting enterprise here, reporting entity, meaning the entity for which we are trying to identify the related party. So there are 4 significant terms that we need to know. Yeah. So what are the 4 significant terms? Number 1, control. Number 2, joint control. Number 3, significant influence. And the last one, key managerial person. Yeah. Now assume there is a person. Yeah. This person has control or joint control over the reporting entity or the entity that we are presently trying to identify the related party for. Is this person our related party? Yes. Wherever I put green tick, it means that that person is a related party. This person is our related party. Further, this person can have control, joint control, significant influence and KMP. So this person has control, this person has joint control, this person has significant influence, or this person is a key managerial person. You get that? And if this person is so in an entity, he has control, joint control, significant influence or key management personnel in another entity. Oh, I can write it in blue. This another entity is also our, what do you say, related party. So if this is a reporting enterprise, whoever has control or joint control on this entity is our related party. And if such related party person has control, joint control, significant influence or is a key management personnel in one more entity, that entity is also our that entity is also our related party. Now the next point is, what if this person has a close relative? So who's this person? Close relative. This person who is a very close relative of our person who holds control or joint control is also a related party. And if this close relative has control, joint control, significant influence or is a key management personnel in one more entity, that entity is also our related party. You get that? Now assume there is a company and that company is being controlled by one person or it is being jointly controlled by one person. That person is our related party, or that person's close friend or close relative is also a related party. And that person and close relatives, if they hold control, joint control or significant influence, or if they are KMP in one more entity, such one more entity is also our related party. Wherever you see green tick mark, it is our related party. Now let us see with regard to significant influence and key management personnel. Yeah. Now if we have a person who has significant influence over us and who is a key management personnel in our company, you get that? This person can have control, can have joint control, can have significant influence or can be a KMP in one more company. So let me write that: control, joint control, significant influence, key management personnel. If we hold such control or joint control or significant influence or KMP, in a company, then is that company our report related party is the question. It is there only for these two. If it is significant influence or key management personnel, it is not our related party anymore. So if there is an entity here and if there is an entity here, this particular entity where the person who holds significant influence in us holds control or joint control is our related party. Whereas if there is an entity in which the person who has significant influence or KMP in our country, in our company, holds significant influence in one more company, such company is not our related party anymore. You get that? Because he has only significant influence in us. It is not control or joint control. See, the hierarchy of the control over the organization is like this. The topmost thing is control, then comes joint control, after that comes significant influence, lastly KMP. If a person holds control or joint control in our entity, he can majorly affect the decisions in our company. You get that? So if he is having control or joint control in some other company, that company will become our related party. Further, if he is having significant influence in some other company, that will also be our related party. Or if that person is a KMP in some other company, that company is our related party. Whereas if he holds only significant influence in our company, then he will not be able to affect anything if he holds significant influence in some other company also. It is dilution of dilution. If you hold significant influence in our company but control or joint control in the other company, then we and that company are related parties. If it is significant influence in both the cases, there is one company and there is one more company, between them is a person who holds significant influence in both the companies. He cannot make both the companies related. You get that? So he has to hold more than significant influence in one company and significant influence in one company to make it related. You get that? And if that person has a close relative, if that person has a close relative, that person who is a close relative is our related party. That person who is our significant influential person or KMP's close relative is our related party. And if that close relative has control or joint control in an entity, that entity is part of our related party. Or if that close relative of our KMP has significant influence or is a KMP in some other entity, such entity is not our related party. I hope you understood this part, and all that we discussed till now is person. So next step what I need to discuss is with regard to entity. Let us see in relation to entity. Reporting entity is here, and this reporting entity can be controlled, can be jointly controlled, or can be another company can have a significant influence in our reporting entity. So control, joint control, significant influence. So if an entity has control over us, if there is an entity which has control over our entity, like our holding company, then such an entity is our related party. Further, if such an entity has control, joint control, significant influence and KMP, let us see this. Such entity which is our related party has control, it has joint control, it has significant influence, and it also has KMP. Yeah. So if it has control, joint control or significant influence, then on one entity, such entity is also a related party. So it's like our parent, and our parent's another subsidiary is also our subsidiary. If I am a company which is controlled by one holding company, that holding company has one more subsidiary, such other subsidiary of my holding company is also my related party. So that's with respect to this. With respect to key management personnel, he becomes a person. We get that? So this person, whoever stands here, and his close relative, and his close relative, and this person and his close relative together can have control, joint control, significant influence, and they can be KMP in one more company. I hope you get what. So here I will write control, joint control, significant influence, and this person who is a KMP in our related party, our holding company, is a KMP in one more company, or his close relative is a KMP in one more company. So with regard to control and joint controlled entities, I'll write that in blue to upkeep the order. Entity, and here we have one more entity. So what do you think? Are they both related? So the answer is the entity in which they have control or joint control is our related party. The entity in which they have only significant influence or there is just one more KMP, it is not our related entity. So it's like this. Just because a KMP is common between two entities, those two entities will not become, what do you say, related parties. Just because one person has significant influence in two companies, those two companies will not become related parties. You get what I'm trying to tell? So we have been controlled by one entity. That entity, if it has control, joint control or significant influence in any other entity, that entity is our related party. So basically, don't you think what we're referring to here is subsidiary, associate, joint venture. All three are ticked. So what I'm referring to is, if there is an entity which has control over me, that entity is my related party, and the companies of that particular entity, that is subsidiaries, associates and joint ventures of that entity, are basically my related parties. Done. Let us go to next one. With regard to joint control and significant influence, there would exist an entity which has joint control on us or which has significant influence on us. Is that entity our related party? The answer is yes, that entity is our related party. Further, if this entity has any subsidiary, associate, joint venture, it has any, I can write it more clean. It has any subsidiary, it has associate, or it has joint venture. Now, are these our related parties? Answer is yes. All these three are also our related parties. So, a reporting entity and its control, if it is held by any entity, that entity is our related party. Further, if that controlling entity has any subsidiary, associate, joint venture, such entity is also a related party. Further, if you have been jointly controlled or significantly influenced by an entity, such entity is a related party. Further, if such entity is a subsidiary, associate or a joint venture, or if it has a subsidiary or it has an associate or a joint venture, such company also becomes our related party. Further, straight to our reporting enterprise, if there is any subsidiary, if there is any associate, or if there is any joint venture, they are also our related parties. So, reporting entity is subsidiary, associate, joint venture, related parties. Reporting entity, if it is controlled by a company, such company, and such company subsidiary, associate, joint ventures. If the reporting enterprise is jointly controlled, or if there is an entity which has significant influence on the reporting party, that company is a related party, and that company's subsidiaries, associates and joint ventures are also related parties. So, what we discussed here firstly was person, and now we are done with entity. So if I go back, we are done with the entire discussion with respect to related party. I told you who and all are related parties. Now it's time for me to tell who and all are not related parties. Who are not related parties? Who are not related parties? The first person who will not call our related party is our co-venturer. Who's this co-venturer? Now this is me and this is another entity. See, I have joint control with this entity and this entity also has joint control. Together we control one entity. This is our joint venture. Now this joint venture is my related party, but this another co-venturer is not my related party exclusively because we together hold one joint venture. Whenever we together hold one joint venture, that particular entity is which I control is my related party, but the entity with which I jointly control that joint venture is not my related party. Done. And the next thing, the person who's not a related party is a customer who buys substantial amount of goods. Yeah, if he buys substantial amount of goods from me, just because he buys substantial amount of goods, I cannot call him a related party. If he is my only customer, if 100% of my output is bought by him, then he becomes my related party. If he buys substantial portion of it, he cannot be regarded as our related party. And the next thing is company in which our KMP is a KMP. Yeah. Now I have a person, a director or a key manager, any other key managerial person. This KMP is a KMP in one more company. Just because we have one KMP in common, I cannot call that company as my related party. If there is any other significant influence or if it is jointly controlled or controlled, then we can call it related party. But exclusively because one person is in common, we cannot call it our related party. And the next thing is government entity. Yeah, for it giving us public utility services, or it is arranging finance for us. Yeah, whenever such services are taken from a government entity, just giving this as a reason, we cannot call government entity as our related party. You get that? So this is not like just because it's a co-venture, it's not a related party. No, co-venturer cannot be the sole reason for calling it the related party. Yeah, cannot be the sole reason. Cannot be sole reason. And this is what the standard says. This is not the exhaustive list that the standard says. What we need to know at very important point whenever we call off this word related party is we need to go by substance over form. When I quote substance over form, it means substance over legal form. We are not going by the legal form like easy my holding company, easy my subsidiary, easy my associate. No, we are going by the substance, that is reality. Always remember, the reality is more important. Reality is greater than legality. We will not go by the mere legal form, we will go by the reality. In the real sense, if they can have influence on us, if they can control us, then they basically become our related party. They have significant influence on us. You get that? That's what we go by, and we don't go by the mere legal terms. But however, the standard specifically tells us who is called our related party. We discussed quite a lot of important terms in this particular standard as of now. We discussed that the related party disclosure is basically about related party and disclosure, and our entire discussion in this particular video was restricted to related party. Disclosure, we've not discussed it in detail. And a related party can be entity or person, and that's what we discussed throughout. If it is person, how it is, and if it is entity, how is it. And we discussed a lot of terms like what do you mean by control, joint control, significant influence, KMP, close relative. So we've discussed a lot of these terms, but we don't really know the meaning of this. So in the next video, what we'll do is we'll discuss the meaning of control, meaning of joint control, meaning of significant influence, meaning of who is a key managerial person, and meaning of what exactly do we mean, who and all is covered within the word close relative. And after this, what we'll do is we'll go down to the word disclosure to complete the standard Ind AS 24. So that's with it for today. See you all in the next one. Till then, stay in the game.